Imagine living in a place where the harsh winter lasts more than half the year, and the nearest supermarket is thousands of kilometers away. What would you eat when the temperature around you drops to 64 degrees Celsius? I was simply astonished when I learned that in such a severe environment, the Inuit managed to find food that is not only nutritious and healthy, but also very tasty. First, frozen fish and meat chips. Imagine fish frozen so solid that it can literally be used to hammer nails. The Inuit slice this rock-hard fish into thin, almost transparent pieces and eat them like natural chips. Extreme cold preserves not only the freshness of the meat, but also the precious nutrients that are usually destroyed by heat. Imagine a clean, delicate, buttery taste that unfolds as the piece begins to melt in your mouth. When you travel across icy expanses at temperatures where your breath freezes in midair, eating a frozen slice means instantly getting protein and fat, two key components without which the body cannot produce heat. And now, meet the most beneficial fish, Arctic char. This amazing and beautiful fish is active at water temperatures just above zero and lives in conditions that paralyze most other fish species. Arctic char is very nutritious. A 100-gram serving contains more than 3,000 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids. This is 3 times more than in farmed salmon. These essential fats support brain function and mood stability among the Inuit during the long polar night. The meat is also rich in vitamin D, which is critically important during months without sunlight. In winter, this fish is eaten raw and frozen for quick satiety during travel, while in the short summer, fish strips are air-dried or smoked over dwarf willow, creating a product with concentrated protein that can be stored for months. The next polar delicacy is whale blubber with skin, called muktuk. The Inuit cut sandwich-like pieces from a captured and killed whale. On top is dark skin. Beneath it, a thick, pinkish-white layer of precious whale fat. From a nutritional perspective, muktuk is a true champion. Whale skin contains more vitamin C than oranges and lemons, and whale blubber is rich in vitamin D, critically important in places where winter means months without sun. Evolution could hardly have devised a more perfect food for these latitudes. It is likely boiled or marinated. Some families even cut it into cubes and salt it before freezing, creating convenient portions for snacking. The human digestive system responds vividly to muktuk. The abundance of fat triggers a powerful metabolic response, generating significant heat as if a stove was switched on inside. This warming property makes it especially valuable before heading out into the bitter cold. The next dish is seal meat. After eating seal meat, the human body experiences a curious reaction. Blood flows to the digestive system to handle the dense food, creating a wave of warmth throughout the body. It turns out that the Inuit often eat seal meat before spending the night in freezing conditions. This natural heating system keeps them warm until morning. In its simplest form, the Inuit eat seal meat raw or frozen. When there is time, the meat is turned into a rich stew. In summer, strips are air-dried in the Arctic wind, providing provisions for long journeys. Seal meat is incredibly rich in iron and fat. The iron content is almost 4 times higher than in beef, and the fat contains special omega-3 fatty acids that protect against disease and help maintain mental clarity in conditions where a mistake can cost a life. And the most astonishing thing, modern research has confirmed what the Inuit have known for centuries. Seal meat contains an ideal balance of substances for survival in extreme cold. The next dish is walrus. The toughness of walrus meat is astonishing. The dark red flesh has a density unlike anything else. This is the density of myoglobin-rich muscle tissue developed for deep dives. The result is meat that is almost black in color, challenging even the sharpest knives. Therefore, the Inuit mainly practice fermentation, burying the meat for weeks or months. Natural bacteria soften the connective tissues while simultaneously preserving the meat. The result is iguanak-aged walrus meat with a distinctive flavor and a soft texture. The taste is complex, with aromas unbearable to an unaccustomed nose, and is controversial even among connoisseurs. But the greatest treasure of the walrus is its fat, up to 15 centimeters thick. It is one of the most concentrated sources of energy in the far north. 1 square meter of walrus fat contains approximately 12,000 calories. This is enough for several days of heavy work in freezing conditions. Walrus liver contains an extremely high level of vitamin A, so concentrated that it is eaten in very small portions to avoid poisoning. This powerful organ of the walrus was traditionally shared among many members of the community. A special Inuit fish delicacy is fermented fish heads. They are buried in pits lined with grass. The pits create an ideal environment, cool enough to prevent dangerous bacteria, yet warm enough for beneficial microbes. After several weeks, the product develops a sharp, cutting aroma that can be sensed from afar. First-time tasters are surprised by the mismatch between the smell and the taste. Despite the aroma, properly fermented fish heads often have an unexpectedly mild and delicate flavor with complex umami notes and a creamy texture. Modern analysis confirms that fermented products contain beneficial probiotics that support gut health and immunity. Where fresh plants are seasonally unavailable, fermentation creates microbial diversity in the Inuit diet. Well then, let us continue exploring the fauna of the Arctic in search of food. And our next dish is Arctic mussels. The flavor of these mussels differs from their warm water counterparts. Extreme cold produces uniquely sweet, clean meat without a mineral aftertaste. Traditionally eaten immediately after harvesting, they deliver an explosion of oceanic flavor. Some Inuit describe it as the essence of the sea itself, pure, wild, and energizing. Arctic mussels contain remarkable concentrations of iron, selenium, and vitamin B12 nutrients that are especially deficient in winter. 1 cup of raw mussels provides more than 300% of the daily value of B12. Mussel shells are also put to use. Ground into powder, they provide a calcium supplement. Whole shells serve as containers, fasteners, or cutting tools. In the past, polished shells were used as reflectors for signaling or for detecting bears by their shadows. And the seaweed familiar to us as kelp or laminaria, a remarkable algae that thrives in icy water, provides a plant-based addition to the Inuit diet. Laminaria contains some of the highest natural concentrations of iodine, which is critically important for the thyroid gland and metabolism in conditions where the body must generate large amounts of heat. Laminaria supplies nutrients absent from land-based foods. It concentrates minerals from seawater, magnesium, potassium, and calcium to support nerve function, prevent cramps, and maintain bone health during the long, sunless winter. Dried laminaria of certain species crunches like chips. The strips break with a crack, then melt, leaving a savory umami flavor. Fresh laminaria is boiled by the Inuit in soups, and some communities store dried laminaria in seal fat, creating a ready-to-eat food that combines fat-soluble and water-soluble vitamins. Certain species of laminaria contain alginates that bind heavy metals in the body. When applied externally, a paste made from laminaria draws out infections and reduces inflammation in wounds. Iodine naturally disinfects cuts. Now, let us move away from the ocean and look for food on land. And our first source of flavor and energy is the polar ptarmigan. Unlike most birds, ptarmigans remain in the same place year-round. In summer, they are mottled brown, blending into the tundra. In winter, they are pure white, almost invisible against the snow. The Inuit usually boil ptarmigans whole. Their small size makes storage difficult, so they are eaten soon after being harvested. The meat of this bird is fattier than that of domesticated poultry and provides concentrated energy for survival in the cold. The flavor of the meat changes with the seasons. Spring birds differ from autumn ones due to a shift in diet, from buds to berries and insects. And who is that leaping in the distance? It is the magnificent reindeer, the caribou. Unlike fatty marine foods, caribou meat is lean and rich in protein, which is vital for maintaining human strength. The deep red color of caribou meat reflects its extraordinary ability to carry oxygen, essential for animals that migrate hundreds of kilometers. This means that its iron level is approximately 4 times higher than that of domesticated livestock meat. Lean caribou meat contains only about 2% fat, compared to 15–20% in beef, yet it contains more omega-3 fatty acids than many fish, thanks to the caribou's diet of lichens and wild plants. Caribou tongue is considered a delicacy. It contains special fats that provide energy in the cold. The heart and liver are treasure troves of B vitamins and iron. Even the contents of the caribou's stomach are sometimes eaten. This is already partially digested vegetation. It sounds terrible to us, but in these regions it is equivalent to a ready-made salad. A true masterpiece of culinary ingenuity is the original energy bar made from caribou meat called pemmican. Dried caribou meat is combined with melted fat and berries. Remarkably, the resulting mixture can be stored for years, even without refrigeration. Just 450 grams of this product provide about 3,000 calories, enough energy for a full day of hard work in freezing conditions. Let us dilute the meat and fish dishes with a dessert. Are there desserts in the Arctic, you may ask? Of course. Let me introduce you to akutak, a traditional Inuit ice cream that has nothing in common with sugar-laden supermarket treats. The base of akutak is animal fat from caribou, musk, ox, or seal, whipped into a light, fluffy consistency that is surprisingly similar to whipped cream. Wild Arctic berries and clean, freshly fallen snow are added to the airy fat mixture. The result is a texture somewhere between ice cream and sorbet. Crowberry, cloudberry, Arctic raspberry and blueberry bring essential vitamins and natural sweetness to the mix. The flavor of the berries intensifies in the cold, creating bright bursts against the rich, fatty base. Family recipes for akutak are passed down from generation to generation. Some add a pinch of salt to enhance the sweetness. Others use different combinations of berries depending on the season. Modern versions may include a spoonful of sugar, although traditionalists believe this dulls the complex interplay of flavors. 1 cup of traditional akutak contains approximately 800 calories, almost half of the daily requirement for a person engaged in heavy labor in freezing conditions. But how do Arctic berries manage to grow in such harsh environments? It turns out that northern berries use a special survival strategy. They grow very close to the ground, rarely higher than 10 centimeters, to remain within the thin layer of air warmed by the sun. Many species manage to complete a 2-year growth cycle within the short summer. They store energy in the first year and bear fruit in the second. This is truly astonishing. Crowberry, or waterberry, is one of the hardiest. These small black berries remain on the bushes all winter, improving in flavor after freezing. Frost breaks down cell walls, releasing sugars. The Inuit harvest them year-round, even digging them out from under the snow. Crowberries contain more antioxidants than blueberries and include a compound that protects the human body from oxidative stress caused by cold. Cloudberry is another Arctic marvel. These amber-colored berries, resembling raspberries, contain 4 times more vitamin C than oranges. In a land without citrus, cloudberries prevented scurvy, the historic killer of northern peoples. The berries grow in wetlands, with their roots reaching into the soil above the permafrost. If there were superhero berries, the cloudberry would wear a cape, saving lives with its vitamins in conditions lethal to other plants. Lingonberries add bright red accents to the Arctic landscape. This relative of the cranberry contains natural preservatives that allow it to be stored for months without refrigeration. Their tartness comes from benzoic acid, the same substance used in industrial food preservation but in a natural form. When supplies are scarce in late winter, these self-preserving berries provide the Inuit with critically important vitamins. The Inuit traditionally eat berries with fatty foods, a combination that maximizes the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. Berries harvested in summer are stored in seal fat, creating ready-to-eat winter food that combines multiple sources of nutrients. Arctic berries are a true treasure trove of vitamins and antioxidants. 1 cup of mixed Arctic berries provides a greater diversity of phytonutrients than most store-bought fruits. You may enjoy drinking hot, aromatic tea. Now imagine how much the Inuit enjoy it at temperatures of 65 degrees Celsius. Hot drinks not only warm the Inuit during cold polar winters, but also serve as medicine and lift the spirit. The warming effect begins even before drinking. Hunters warm their hands over a steaming cup. The most common traditional Inuit beverage is Labrador tea, made from the leaves of wild rhododendron. It contains compounds that enhance blood circulation in the extremities, which is critically important when there is a risk of frostbite. The leaves are harvested in summer, dried, and stored year-round. The flavor varies, depending on the place and time of harvest. Early summer leaves produce a lighter drink, while later leaves yield a deeper, earthier flavor. To aid digestion after fatty meals, special blends are prepared. Crowberry leaves steeped in hot water create a tonic beverage that helps digest proteins and fats. An infusion of pine needles provides enormous doses of vitamin C, 5 times more than orange juice. Tea, made from willow bark, serves as a natural aspirin, reducing pain and inflammation after long, strenuous journeys. The herbs and roots of the Arctic survive where ordinary plants would give up immediately. The shoots of fireweed, or Ivan tea, appear first of all. These spring shoots provide vital vitamin C after a winter without greenery. Young stems taste like asparagus with a peppery note. Cotton grass provides edible roots with a surprising carbohydrate content, critically important in a land where sugars are scarce. Traditionally, they are dug out of semi-frozen ground. The tubers are marble-sized, sweet and crunchy, resembling water chestnuts. Lime grass, or dune grass, grows along the coasts and produces intense aromas for protection. Its leaves contain essential oils that serve as both seasoning and medicine for colds. The concentration of oils is high. A couple of leaves can flavor an entire pot of stew. The most impressive are Arctic willows. Their inner bark contains natural salicylic acid, just like aspirin. Strips of bark, chewed or brewed, create a natural pain reliever. An original pharmacy without insurance or waiting lines. Modern research confirms that many Arctic plants contain concentrated bioactive compounds as part of their adaptation to extreme conditions. These same compounds provide therapeutic effects. And finally, the most nutrient-rich traditional product, blood soup. Preparation begins immediately after a successful hunt. Warm seal or caribou blood is collected in a container. Sometimes, small pieces of meat and fat are added, then it is gently heated until it becomes a thick, steaming soup. Some recipes include wild onions or coastal herbs for flavor and vitamins. The blood naturally thickens as the proteins slightly coagulate when heated. The consistency resembles a creamy mushroom soup, but with far greater nutritional value. The flavor has mineral notes balanced by rich meatiness. Blood soup is prepared in minutes, providing instant energy during journeys when strength is at its limit and time is short. This aspect is especially valuable when bad weather threatens and shelter must be set up quickly. Fresh caribou or seal blood contains remarkable nutrients: iron, protein, and B vitamins. The liquid delivers concentrated energy and warms the body from within. 1 cup of blood soup contains 7 times more iron than the same amount of beef stew. This is critically important for preventing anemia. Standing here, on the edge of the frozen world, I am astonished. These extraordinary foods are not just nourishment, they are a hymn to human ingenuity, carved by centuries of traditional knowledge. This is the highest mathematics of adaptation, where every slice of frozen fish, every spoonful of akutak, every sip of blood soup is a precisely calculated move in a chess match against merciless cold. The Inuit do not merely survive here, they live fully and wisely, in remarkable harmony with resources that others see as emptiness. Their cuisine is a map written by ice, wind and sea, a map of how to turn an icy desert into a home. This is not just food, it is a philosophy of life at the edge of what is possible.